development happen. You get from an idea, you identify problem, solve it, assign it, test it, and ship it. So last thing is shipping. When to send a Slack notification and when not to send a Slack notification. Just draw it. Plain simple. That's.
So is it just for
If you don't
notification?
understand the question, ask me back. So what I said in a notification is, let me draw it out. So let's suppose I'll draw it here, right? So if you guys don't understand, just tell me. You see this, right? This is blank right now.
Okay.
So let's suppose this is Slack, your desktop app, and a mobile app. So there are two things, right? You need to map it out how you will send a notification when someone DMs you and once someone sends any message to a channel, right? If you guys can see.
Yes.
So you need to see you have two applications installed with the same email ID. You have a desktop application and you have a mobile application. And you need to map out how will you send notification to devices when someone sends you a DM or someone sends you a message in channel. Very simple. Don't make it complex. You'll just have to send a notification. If someone sends you a DM, send a notification to mobile or send a notification to desktop. Someone sends you a message, group message, send a notification to desktop. Take your time, take 5 minutes, think of it. I'll just grab my water so I'll be off. Anyone has anything? Yeah. Just click a picture and send it on Slack group if, if anyone is ready. Guys, do you see the screen? What can you see right
Yeah.
now?
The roadmap.
Page.
Mm-hmm.
So I've sent the image on the group one. Probably it's more of a steps. I don't know. So I'll try to explain what I try to write over here. So let's consider you are sending a message in this group, or let's say if right now I have sent a message to the mentorship program group. Now, what Slack needs to know is who are all the people who are in the group. Maybe let's consider all four as 1, 2, 3, 4. Now Slack takes all 1, 2, 3, 4, reads what is the message which I want to send, store it, and then push it as a notification to all four of us. And then while pushing, it needs to identify what all devices I have connected to, or let's say this email ID is connected to, and push it to both the devices if it's available.
Okay. Identify the user, correct the message, push it to both devices. Right. We have Rahul. DM mobile is handy, quick response. Yeah.
So
Channel,
what
website, mobile. Yeah.
mine was that if a particular person or someone is DM, direct messaging, so I think that particular notification should be sent directly on phone because it is more handy than a website compared to a website. And if someone is uh, sending a DM, that means that might be a little urgent or on a comparison to a normal channel message which you get, that might be related to you or not. Maybe it's a general message.
Okay.
And second was
Yeah,
that
makes
if
sense.
yeah, for channel, I thought that maybe we cannot send a notification if a particular message is there on the channel not related to you. And for example, if someone has tagged you specifically on that channel, then the notification should be sent both on the website and the phone, on the
Okay.
website and the mobile. Yeah.
Yeah, my photo is not very clear. I can just. Oh, it's not at all clear.
No problem.
Just give me one. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah, I see it.
So I have just actually split it into three. So when someone DMs you, you should get it to your desktop and your phone. And in channel, when someone notifies the whole channel, that is at here, so that should probably come to both the desktop and your phone. And the same
Yeah.
thing goes to your name also. If someone mentions your name, then that should also ideally come to your desktop and phone. And the third one is a thread. So whenever you are in a thread and someone notifies something on that thread, then also it should come to your desktop and phone. So that is how I've segregated this.
Got it. So yeah, that's a perception. So what I want you guys to understand is these are the perception we have individually about a certain product, right? What we see something outside. We are not involved in how Slack works and everything, but what we see from outside, this is how we see it, right? How notifications
Yeah.
work. So,
Yes.
and what's the difference when you go into product management and you start developing this simple feature? Let's say this is a simple notification feature, right? And when you go into detail, so I'll just give you how what detail I'm talking about. So once you start developing this, then you'll understand what's the difference between how you see a product from outside and what's how it is from the inside developing the same thing. Right? I'll tell you. So let this page load. Okay. Got it, got it, great. Mhm. Okay. So do you see this screen clearly now?
Yeah.
So this is a flowchart for how Slack sends a notification to your mobile or a website, to your or desktop. So this is how it works internally, right? So so there are a couple of things. So if you go deep dive into it, should we send a notification? So first thing you have to decide is it very important enough that you'll have to send a notification to the user? So that's the first thing you start answering. So this is the question, right? This is the question you need to answer. And you answer that, is it really important? If it's not, so in what case it's not, and if it's not, you do nothing. And what all case it's yes, and you do something. And how you do something, it's like this, right? So let's try to understand what they are saying. They're saying is, should we send a notification? If the channel is muted, is the channel muted? Yes, if the channel is muted, thread message and user subscribe will not send a message because the channel is muted, right? If it's not muted, is user in DND? As user turned on do not disturb? It's if it's yes, uh, do you want to override DND? No, then we won't send a message. If yes, we'll send the message channel everyone here. So these are the messages that everyone will be called for. You will be getting a DM when I mention channel, when I mention everyone, or when I mention here. So you'll be getting notification, personalized notification in all these four times, right? So once you get this message, if it's yes, channel mention suppressed, no, no. So that's a very long thing if you want to read. So we'll just look at the main things, right? So if you are mentioning here, if it's yes, channel mention. If the channel is suppressed, if it's yes, we don't send a notification. If it's no, we'll send a notification. And what is the user's channel notification preference for this device? So this is the question that comes at the very end when you have decided that you have to send a notification. And what we did here was, what all of us did here was, we started with that. We'll be sending notification to all the devices. But this comes when you have decided that you have to send a notification. So that is the first question you need to answer, that if it's very important enough to send a notification, in what all cases we have to send a notification, and then you come to this question that where you want to send a notification. So that if nothing, everything mentions, you send a thread message, subscribe, yes, yes, yes. So what is the global notification preference for this device? All mention DM has a, so there is mobile, DMs is mobile, mobile. So it's one thing Rahul did was, we personalized messages directly to mobiles, right? So a person mentioning me or personal DMing me, uh, I'll receive a notification on my mobile as well. So this is how a Slack notification works. A simple Slack notification that seems so simple from the outside works, right? So this is how we develop some simple features. So that's the perception. That's the difference between how we see some product from outside and how it is developed from the inside. So this will just try to access it and see what you guys learned from it, right? Because what I'm trying to convey here is what we did in our previous session, the reverse engineering of Zoom. We found it so simple, right? We divided everything in 10 features, but that was not so easy because every feature would have this much conditions, right? When you want to mute a person participant, and are you allowed to do that? Are you the admin of that? Are you the participant? So these are the questions, or these are how complex things look simple from the outside. And so let's say how you define a great product is, if it looks so simple that you can build it yourself, if the product looks so simple that you can build it yourself, then you should understand this is a great product, right? So uh, what is someone's great, let's suppose WhatsApp might be someone's best uh, favorite product, because it seems they think that it's very simple to build that. And so just note it down, that if any feature or if any product looks very simple to you, it's and you like it, and you think that you can just make it in a weekend, it's a beautiful product. Because to uh, it's very what do you say, it's so important in life as well that you start by solving complex problems, and when you solve them, it should become simple. It should become so simple that you come back to this and say, oh, this can be done, this could be done in a couple of days, but I took a year for that. So yeah, so coming back to what we were discussing, so these are the things why I wanted you guys to understand is, so what you won't, so in any course, or in any course, maybe in Udemy or on Academy, you'll be just learning how, what is a tech backlog, what is a tech debt, how you manage person, how many times people, but you'll get what is really, what goes behind the scenes, right? So these things go behind the scenes. So just interrupt me anywhere if you have questions till now. Please. Any questions, anyone?
No.
So, okay. Do you want to see, let's if I want to call somebody up and say that I need your help to explain some people about product management, what do you think you'll want to learn from them? Because I can teach you, I cannot teach anyone, but I can just tell you that this. But if you want to see how us, so I talk very niche, right? Talking niches. Let's suppose you want to see how tech team or how testing team works. So we can have some QAs who can just drill you down how a whole product works. If you want to understand how developers think, or how designers think, or how product managers approach prioritization, just a single thing, and then he can explain or expand how prioritization works. Do you guys want to see, or do you guys want to uh, have anything? Do you want to see how prioritization works or anything like that? Regarding an else? I mean, we can have fantastic professional hire. I have a lot of folks in product manager that can help you so much at so different things that you'll be blown away with how they think about things. Right? So yeah, let me know. Take a time, and come back to me tomorrow, maybe, so that we can schedule something, right? Meanwhile, I'll just continue what we have right now. So what we have understood till now is, you know how product manager sits, where product manager sits in a company, right? When he is called for and when he is necessary, and when he is so important, or where his role is so important to bring an idea to life, right? So this is how it is. Then he identifies problem, everything like that. So one more thing is, what we learned here is, if you guys can just note it down, right? I don't think we can write it there. I'm noting it down so you guys can remember. Make complex problems simple. So this should be a mantra of any product manager. This this is very important, right? This is if you do this right, you are the game or you are in the game, right? Because this is, you will see a lot of folks. You will see 12 years product managers, 12 years of experience, having 12 years of experience working in Microsoft, Amazon, and stuff like that. But they will suck at this. They will explain. Just ask them to explain what's the complex thing they have done till now. And if they take more than 5 minutes, you know they have sucked with products, right? You need somebody to make you understand something very clearly and very sophisticatedly. So you, even if you are a novice, you don't know anything about tech, you'll be able to understand. So yeah, just keep that in mind whenever you start your journey with product. This should be the first thing. Just paste it in your wall or something, that you need to make complex solution look very simple. Now we have these. So this is how PM functions. Now we have prioritization. I guess we know how prioritization works. How idea becomes reality. So this is how idea becomes reality, right? So this solution, this solves this as well. This is the answers to this as well. Now, user psyche. So user psyche. Uh, what do you mean by user psyche? User psyche is, it's a topic for another day. I'll take another time. What do you think? We can continue. Is everyone sleeping, feeling sleepy, or anything? Deepak,
Oh, we can.
Rahul, you can? Yes. Okay. Okay. So mm, I was just talking to these people, right? I'll I'll tell you some personal stories as well as we talk. Uh, in my previous company, uh, at my starting days, what I did was I went with salespeople on the trip, right, on the field, because I knew nothing about product management. I just thought that I'll just make some time pass and see how people work. I'll do some 1 minute chit chat and go on and found some other like that. That was my thought that time. I'll go with sales, chill with them, because the chillest people in the room is the sales people, right? They'll be the only people who'll dance at a party, because techies won't do that. So you chill with those sales people. But when I was just touring with these guys, right, and seeing how customers react to a fintech product, how are they onboarding stuff, right? So they have the fintech company. They go to customers and say that you download this app. We'll just check your credit score that is built by us, and we'll give you a loan at the same time. We'll just give Aadhaar card to us. That's how. That's so simple. Now here I was not doing sales. I was just understanding what people are doing. So people go to them. People are saying, I won't give you an Aadhaar card, or I'll give you an Aadhaar card, but they were disappointed when they were not eligible for a loan, right? Then there were a set of people who were eligible for a loan, but they won't apply for a loan, right? And they got, because thing is, they have a referral thing, right? Where if you enroll and you have a credit score, you get a 200 rupees, right? People were happy with 200 rupees, but they were not applying for loan. They were this set of people. They were people who were ready to take loan at any condition. They wanted the loan, right? But what they didn't wanted was, what was hampering them was the credit score was incorrect, or they were not eligible for taking that loan. But they were ready to give their documents and everything. They were ready to give black records and everything, but eventually, yeah. So what do you understand by this is, if you get 100 people, right? If you talk to 100 people, or if salespeople talk to 100 people, you can categorize the users in 3 or 4 categories, right? So one could be the people who are just for the referral game, who are just for 200 rupees. One could be the people who are offended or who are not eligible for loan, but are unhappy, who are eligible for loan, but are not applying for loans. And then you have the ideal set of customers who are eligible for loan as well, and they are applying for loan as well, right? So this characterization of users is what we call user personas. Personas means you define users by certain traits, right? You can you can identify what do you say, chimpanzees by their traits, right? So you can divide monkeys into different species. They can be a macaw chimpanzee, macaw monkey, and they can be a chimpanzee. So that's how you define, characterize people, or characterize users. So this is called user personas or user psyche. Psyche means what they think or how they react to your stuff. So this is user psyche. So this can be, I'll just call somebody to explain this user psyche in detail. Let me know that. So who can, I guess, okay. User psyche. So user psyche best as product designer can make you understand how they define product, how they define users coming to a platform, right? Because their job is to make people understand what type of people are coming to a certain page, right? They don't want non-techie people to go to a Wipro website, or what you say,
Maybe a
uh,
postman.
maybe a postman. Yeah, that's a better example. So there's a definition how you understand user psyche. We'll go about user psyche in detail with some designer. I'll just get in touch with somebody who can make you explain this in very detail, right? Till that time, I guess, Rahul, you are feeling sleepy, so we'll just end this session here. No problem.
No, 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 I'm not sleepy.
No problem. Man. Uh, let's not continue because I'm just blabbering around, but making it a meaningful session next time would make sense. So let's recap with questions. I'll not tell what happened. Let's just recap what can be the questions. Right? Whatever we gone through today. Any questions from anyone? You need to have
I
questions.
think we mostly asked the questions when we were discussing.
Sorry.
Yeah, during the session.
So learning, I think, yeah, this important thing which we learned today was that the mantra which you told us, right, making complex solutions look simple. I think that is the main thing which I think I have learned personally. I didn't had means I had never thought on this line, to be honest,
Mhm.
for a product manager to make complex solutions look simple.
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't have
What I
any.
specifically,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, go.
No, no, no. I did.
So what I specifically like is that the Slack example, so that help to understand the problem much better than being just a theoretical session. So I would have never gone to the first question of whether do we want a notification or not. So that emphasizes that you first think of whether you want that feature or not, and then go into the details of the
Yeah.
feature. So what I did was just get into the technical implementation of the feature, but rather that's what a developer has to do and not a product manager. Ideally, I should have gone one step back and then understood the feature. So that's the
Yeah.
learning point.
Yeah. So yeah,
And
I'll just
prioritization was
conclude.
also,
Yeah, Deepak, go on.
yeah, yeah. So prioritization was a part that I was not actually aware that was done by the product manager. I always thought that it was mainly dependent on the developers because they're the one who are actually developing the features.
Mm-hmm.
So now I got to know that it is primarily a product manager's job to prioritize what should reach the user first. So that was actually a good topic. That's what I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah. So, what I'll lastly, so Sriram, what was the last thing you said? Because
You're
I
saying
was,
the point where I kind of thought in developer's shoes, rather I should have thought from a
yeah,
product
okay,
manager's shoes.
got it. So, what I was saying is, so as a product manager, there will be a lot of time where you have to go in details, right? You'll have to understand why, what, and when, or and how. And there will be times where you have to just see the bird eye view, right? So you need to just see what is the main thing that you need to achieve, right? And there will be times where you have to step in and see how to do it, right? In the and the most of the time, if you remain isolated from the how, that will be much more better from you emotionally. Because if you just keep going to the question again and again, keep going to the how and when and what, you'll be so frustrated with the process because what you want is very fast, but you won't get that. What you want is this way, but you won't get that because that's not in your hand. You're not developing that, right? You might want a filter first, but the developer will choose to prioritize scroll bar first, right? So you don't want to go into details a lot of times. But there might be situation, there might be extraordinary situation where you have to do that. But my suggestion would be you keep isolated from those situations. Don't do that because the more attached you become to the problem, you won't be able to think logically. You will be thinking emotionally to that condition. Yeah. So let's conclude this session with that thought. I guess that was a lovely session. I didn't prepare a lot today, but it went. It sailed, I guess, smoothly. Take it in the evening.
Hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, great. Keep this. Whatever we did this in the Notion uh, file we have. So
Hmm.
Yeah,
if we don't lose any information today, uh, I'll send you the recordings as well. So I recorded
all
the
right.
session, not the 15 minutes, first 15 minutes, but I'll just send you this recording. So if you think you missed something, just uh, go over it again. Yeah,
All right, Rahul. Yeah,
Yeah. Yes.
absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. It was lovely hosting you again.
Thank
thank
And
you,
you.
Rahul.
we'll meet
Thank
again.
you, Rohit.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
Right.